Have you ever noticed those people who control their environment without saying a word? They don't shout, they don't beg, they simply withdraw. And suddenly everything changes. The energy shifts, people question, chase, feel. Today, I'm going to reveal why your constant availability is destroying you, and how conscious unavailability can transform your life. The trap of permanent availability. Since childhood, you've been conditioned to believe your worth lies in your availability. Respond quickly, say yes, please, even when you want to say no. But here's a brutal truth no one ever tells you. This excessive availability isn't a virtue, it's a prison. Carl Jung spoke about the persona, the mask we wear to be accepted, and it's exactly this mask that makes you overly available. You say, "I'm fine" when you're suffocating. You respond to messages immediately, even when exhausted. You justify yourself as if you owe something to the world. The reality? The more available you are, the less respect you get. What's too abundant becomes ordinary. No one values what's always there. Psychic energy, your most precious resource. Jung didn't see the mind as an automatic machine. For him, our psyche functions like an energy system. Every thought, emotion, action consumes this limited energy. The crucial question, are you choosing where your energy goes, or are you letting the world decide? Every time you react impulsively to criticism that didn't deserve attention, to provocation just to prove your point, you're wasting your inner strength. Jung was clear. What you resist persists. The more you react, the more you chain yourself. Emotionally exhausted people aren't weak. They're misdirected. And when you're vulnerable, you become easy prey for manipulators who sense your inability to guard your energy. The dark truth about manipulation. Most of your emotional reactions are programmed. Manipulators don't need to shout or threaten. They simply trigger the buttons you've left exposed. Silent manipulation continues. That friend who only contacts you in crisis, that partner who always needs you to save the day. They're not in relationship with you, but with the idea of you, the role you agree to play. You agree because you're afraid of disappointing, afraid of not being loved, afraid of being abandoned. The most effective manipulation doesn't happen in shouting. It happens in the silence of guilt when you feel you owe something to others. When you stop reacting, the game breaks. Projections begin to crumble. Your unavailability becomes a threat because it forces others to confront their own emptiness. The power of conscious silence. The modern world is noisy. Everyone wants to be heard, respond quickly, win pointless debates. But there's a power few know. Conscious silence, strategic, brutally lucid. Have you noticed how some people panic when you don't respond? It's not because they miss you. It's because your silence takes away their narrative control. While you speak, you're still in the game. When you're silent, you change the rules entirely. True silence isn't the absence of voice, it's mastery over your energy. It's the conscious refusal to be dragged down by others' emotions. Jung understood that individuation, becoming who you truly are, requires this distancing. Only in silence can you listen to yourself without the world's interference. The price of silence. Don't be fooled. Silence has a price. It will distance you from people who only valued you for the role you played. It will make you incomprehensible to those who only saw you through their projections. It will make you seem cold, distant, arrogant. But all of this is a reaction from those who never wanted to deal with your depth, only with your utility. The more you mature, the more selective you become with your words because you understand that each sentence is an energetic investment. Not everyone deserves access to your truth. Sometimes silence isn't retreat, it's sovereignty. It's the language of those who no longer need to prove anything to anyone. True transformation begins when you firmly decide to become selective. This requires emotional discipline. Conscious unavailability isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about no longer being accessible to anyone at any time for any reason. It's about taking control of your energy, your time, your peace. This starts with small actions. Not responding immediately, breathing before reacting, leaving a discussion before being dragged into chaos, saying not today without guilt. And here's the most important part. You don't need to justify your absence. You owe nothing to anyone except yourself. Want to know a good thermometer for your evolution? Watch who distances themselves when you become more reserved, who tries to provoke you when you stop reacting, who accuses you of having changed when you finally start protecting yourself. These aren't signs you're wrong. They're proof you're beginning to free yourself. When you stop being available to everyone, something profound happens. First comes the uncomfortable silence that seems to scream inside you. You wonder if you did the right thing. But gradually, this silence transforms. It begins to cleanse, to calm, to heal. Then comes solitude, not the solitude of absence, but the solitude of total presence to yourself. You'll lose people, but you'll find yourself. You'll distance yourself from certain places, but you'll reconnect with your essence. You'll become misunderstood, but finally respected. Because when you're no longer available for anything, you become precious, rare, unforgettable. Now I ask you the question that will change everything. Are you ready to be misunderstood, rejected, maybe even hated in the name of your inner freedom? Are you ready to pay the price of being yourself? If this message touched you, if something awakened in you, write in the comments, "I choose my peace." Let's see how many of you are ready for this transformation. Your old self is already thanking you for having the courage to listen this far. Conscious unavailability awaits you. The question is, will you take the leap? Subscribe if you want to regain control of your energy. Your transformation starts now.